My name is Wulfin Lieske, and this guitar is the legendary La Leona by Antonio de Torres. Torres constructed this guitar in Sevilla in the year 1856. And it's called the mother of all the classical guitars because in this guitar, the first time he established some standards which are still the same today, which is the string length of 65 and basically the shape and also the size and the 6 strings and so on. Why do I tell you this? I'm telling you this because Francisco Tárrega played on this guitar when he came the first time to Sevilla in the year 67, and Antonio de Torres showed him first a simple guitar, and then Tárrega started playing and said, "Oh, stop, wait, this is not for you. I show you another one." Then he showed him a real guitar, the one he actually bought. And so this is the connection to this lecture on the spirit of Tárrega. If we talk about Tárrega, and especially if we use the term spirit, so what is really revolutionary about what he did in his time in the late 19th century? So Tárrega started playing the guitar in the age of 8 years, and at the same time he studied piano. So we have the classical situation that we both have a guitar player and we have a piano player. This is quite interesting because his family was very poor. He grew up in Villarreal, which is close to Benicàssim, to Castellón, so in the Valencian area. The family was pretty poor, and very often he had to raise some money for the family to support the family. And he raised that money playing piano in clubs. It was not his guitar playing, at least not in this early stage. Later, Tárrega studied music in Madrid, the capital, and at that time it was impossible to study classical guitar. This was the instrument of the street. There was something for flamenco, for popular music, but not for classical music. So this is the connection. If we start reflecting about the genius of Tárrega, we have to integrate not this guitar, but we have to integrate the Torres guitar. Because at that time, the Torres guitar was something absolutely revolutionary. It was absolutely different from a Pajés guitar. It was different from a Pernas, whenever it said he had studied with Pernas before. But it was especially different from a Lacote guitar, which is the guitar Fernando Sor, for example, played in Paris. And it's also very different from the Vienna school, as we have the Stauffer guitars. And so what Torres achieved was a very strong sounding instrument. So if you play A major, then we have a solid modern guitar sound. The special thing for this lecture, I will not use La Leona because Leona is tuned to 428. So if you ask me, "Hey, why did you tune this guitar so low?" The answer is simply, our standard tuning of today are 440. Whenever we have to say in orchestras, we already have 443. 440 is an amount, a value, which was established in the 30s, in the middle of the Second World War. So it was not the standard tuning for the late 19th century. At that time, the French tuning was more fashionable, which is 435. Besides our theory, I play this guitar since 30 years now, and we found out that the best inner resonance, the best harmony we found with this tuning 428. And there's not only a special historical reason, it's just the instrument itself. So if we knock on this guitar, we hear a very low sound, and the back is, of course, brighter. And inside the guitar is the tonebase. The guitar Tárrega played also had the tonebase inside. The tonebase is a metal cone mystery thing, which it would be a little bit too complicated to talk now about that. Anyway, it helped focus the sound projection and lowered the higher formants a bit lower. So the sound of a guitar with the tonebase is more golden and less silver. That's the very short explication. So part of the genius concept of Tárrega was the sound of this guitar. So if I give you an example, if you would play, let's say, the piece Lagrima in the way Fernando Sor played it. Okay, Sor of course had a bit different guitar position, and he would hold his hand maybe like this. He would do it like this. Tárrega would do like this. So you hear there's a huge difference in concept. So what is the second special thing about Tárrega is not only the Torres, it's his way of attacking. As we all know, it is said that he developed the apoyando. He was not the first. It's probably Fernando Sor and also Dionisio Aguado who used the rest stroke, especially if they had to emphasize a note, to give an accent on it. They didn't use it so much as a sound culture, something which is aesthetic in its own. For Tárrega, it was the sound of the late 19th century in Spain. It's a romantic concept of sound, of guitar sound. But this could only work with a Torres guitar. So I would just like right now show you a little bit the difference. If we have the concept of Sor, then we have an attack which is not apoyando, it's tirando. So we have a free stroke, like on the lute. If we remember on the lute, we have this position, we play without nails, of course, and we have this cant. And so with Sor, it moved a little bit like this. There are some drawings in his school where you can see the fingers are in one line. I mean, the fingertips are in one line, rectangular with the strings. And we come to this sound. So the string is vibrating freely, and the Tárrega concept puts it into the piano playing. So you have the fingers here, here are the keys. So you could imagine you have the guitar here like this, and you play like this. Like the electric guitar players today, who play with both hands on the fingerboard. Okay, so his attack is rectangular to the string, and he uses the rest stroke. Instead of so this attack is more, I don't know if this word exists in English. I'm from Germany. It's more pinchy. Is that a word in English? I don't know. Anyway, what I want to say with that, it's a very direct, a little bit slightly aggressive sound, which gives a clear core to the note. So to make it more elegant, we have to incorporate vibrato. And the combination of this direct attack and the vibrato and the sound of the Torres guitar, which is low resonance and the lower tuning as we have it today, this creates another concept of guitar sound. So in the classical epoch, the sound itself is not so important. It is more important is the musical texture, the polyphony, the harmonic clearness. In the Romantic, the color gets more important. If you have orchestral music, you have a much larger orchestra with new instruments which will not be used before. If we take the piano, we have the invention of the steel frame. Also there, we are aiming for more dynamic, more range, and also more colors. So the Torres guitars in the trend of this Romantic process. And because of that, Tárrega had a very good result in the combination of the Torres guitar and his kind of attack. And of course of his inner feeling as a composer, as an arranger, and as a guitarist. So he enjoyed that sound. is a different concept of playing instead of, which is more lute-like. It both has its qualities, but for the style of Tárrega, we have to know about this. So, if you want to hear me performing on La Leona, you find on tonebase another section where we have all the pieces which will be discussed during this lecture. I performed on La Leona for you, so you can just lay back and enjoy.